What's up, killers? What's going on? I'm out in the garage and I gotta put a little wax on my string because the last thing I want is this brand new gas bowstring to get dried up on me. So obviously I've shot quite a bit with it already. I'm not gonna be shooting today, but I do plan on shooting again this weekend. One thing you don't want to do is wax the string, rub it all on, and then immediately go shoot, because what'll happen is the force of your bow, releasing the arrow and the string moving forward, will actually start flinging that wax all over your components, and it's just not ideal. So like I said, I know I'm not going to be shooting tonight, so it's a perfect time for me to get some protective wax on here. This is basically, if you remember from school, it's kind of just like an old school glue stick, but this is wax, not glue. So you kind of just push it up with your finger, it slides up a little bit like that. You don't need a lot by any means. I will do the best I can on camera here to show you. The main target area that I'm going to be focusing on tonight, though, is, if you guys recall, I was talking about where the vanes were actually making contact with my cables, and roughly right here on my cable is, I don't even want to call it a fray. It's definitely not a fray, otherwise I'd be more concerned about it. Just an area where I could see that the vanes were making contact with my cables, and that is obviously something you don't want to do. So I found that when I started the broadhead tuning process, and basically what it is, when you have like this Hamskea drop away rest, this limb driven rest, and a 3-vane arrow like I'm running, my bull vane does not need to be at 12 o'clock. That is, I don't want to call it a dated practice, but it's always been a rule of thumb. We all probably heard that. Your off-color vane, your bull vane, whatever you want to call it, was normally always at 12 o'clock. What's going on now with these newer setups, different arrow builds, is that bull vane, that cock vane, probably going to be more like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And that's okay, because with these 3-vane arrows, the drop away rest, it doesn't make contact. It's more important that you don't make contact with your cables, obviously, because there's no way for the arrow to fly true at that point. I'm going to start in that area there because I want to get these fibers that got roughed up a little bit laying down flat again. So just going to take the glue stick. Keep in mind, this only goes on your string components. This does not go on your serving. I would not put anything on your serving material, your D-loop, the string that ties your peep sight in, none of that. Only your string. So on my bow, and the gas bowstring, that's going to be the red and black component here. Keep that in mind, that's important. Alright, so you take your wax stick. I don't know how to explain this probably perfectly, but when you see a little bit of the wax laying on your string right there, that's good. So continue that process. I would start by getting a little bit on your string in all areas, and I will show you the next step. All right. Now, the next step. I have talked about this in the past before, but just as a reminder, the material that your string is made out of will conduct a lot of heat rapidly because of the type of motion we're going to be using. You're going to be using your fingers, and what you want to do is you actually want to rub, nothing crazy, but you want to rub that wax into the string. And this is where you want to be careful. If you go too fast or you apply too much pressure, you will burn your fingers, and it does hurt because I've done it in the past. So I'm just using my thumb and my index finger. Again, not heavy pressure, couple of strokes, and that wax just goes right into all the filaments and real nice. So to give you a before and after, if you're looking right here, You see that's all the wax that I just added. Same thing up top here. So I'm just going to take my thumb and my index finger, just very gentle, a couple of passes, and you'll feel that buildup start getting knocked down. It's going to start getting smoother, and the end result is you're going to see a nice even coat on your string, almost giving it like a semi-gloss finish to it. The aesthetic isn't important, the feel is. It should be not super sticky, but not dry. It should just have a little bit of moisture in it at this point. And at that point, the process is all the same, but I really think this is a very important step to preserving the life of your string. I've been very vocal about how old this bow is, and that was the original string. So for 9 years worth of elements, I would say moderate target shooting. My old string never failed me. However, I took good care of it. I always made sure it was waxed a couple times a season. It was never left out, in a garage in extreme heat or cold. If he really got nasty out, I would bring it inside. This wax, though, this wax will definitely, in my opinion, prolong the life of your string. In my opinion, without a doubt. Invest in it. This is a couple bucks on Amazon. I haven't had a bad brand. They're all pretty much generic. I'm sure you could buy a higher quality one if you wanted to. Overall, though, for a couple dollars, you're investing in your bow, you're investing in your string, which is probably the most important component on the bow, to be honest. So do yourself a favor, do your bow a favor, take a couple minutes, and if you knew this process already, which I'm sure a lot of you did, just take it as a friendly reminder as we're moving into the summer months. Maybe it's time to put a little wax on that string before it gets too warm out. If you're a newer hunter, first year archery hunting, hopefully this was a helpful hint. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, send me a message, anything you want to do. I want to stress that as much as possible. I'm really trying to help out the newer hunters this off season. By no means do I know everything. I am learning a lot every day, every season. However, I'm at the point now with this page where I have a ton of resources available. And if you have any questions that I don't know the answer to, I will get you an answer. All right, I will talk to you guys soon, and we're going to be shooting again this weekend. It's going to be good. I haven't shot in a while. I'll catch you guys later on. Have a good night.